Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Julie Flores. Welcome to the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my everyday brow routine, which is literally what I do every day. The products in my collection that stand out to me the most, that I'm always grabbing, and they're affordable products. I truly use them all the time. Like, if you guys go back in my videos, you'll see that I always talk about these products. So it's not just because they're affordable and I want to title this like affordable eyebrow video. No, like, it truly, like, I use these bomb ass affordable products all the time. So I wanted to share these products with you guys, and also my tips and tricks on how to achieve the brows that I wear, the brows that I do, I guess you could say. If you guys want to see my go-to brow routine, then just keep on watching. So my go-to pencil that I use to fill in my brows is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Espresso. So the first thing that I always do is brush the hairs upwards and kind of just in the direction that the brow goes. So I like to start where I want it to get darker, which would be right here. And I start just by outlining the brow basically, but I start right here. And basically connect it all the way to the end of my brow in the shape that I want. And like, I feel like I'm missing some hairs right here, so I kind of like bring it lower than my hairs actually go. And then bring it down as far as you like want the tail to go, or as far as your actual hairs do go on the tail. And then I start right here, like the top of your arch on the top part of your brow is where I start. And as you can see right here, I'm missing a lot of hair. So I bring the line like above, starting from here. I kind of like change the shape of my brow. So like right here is where I will start it. And just kind of connect that to the tail, filling in the spots that I don't have here. So right here. So as you can see, I kind of like created my own shape because I was missing hair there. And then outline the top, but as I'm going this way, I start doing it a little bit more lightly. So using like less pressure on the top part. Then I will just brush downwards on the top part, just so it kind of like fades into the brow and it's not like super harsh lines. And then the same thing with the bottom. I just brush it in the way that the hairs are going. Just so that it looks a little bit more natural. And then once I've done that, I start filling in between the outlines that I made. But mainly keeping it the darkest on the end of the brow and like more lighter over here. And then I just keep brushing through the brow as needed. If it starts to get like really like harsh looking, I will start brushing through it. And then once you kind of have it filled in how you want it to look, this is when I start doing this part, and basically I start from the most inner part and do it really lightly. As you can see, it's much lighter than the lines over here. And then I kind of like turn it more this way rather than this way to get the hairs going like in the same direction as my actual brow hairs. And still doing that very lightly. And then I'll brush it out. Do a few more and then brush it out again until I'm satisfied. Okay, so I think I'm satisfied with this brow right now. So I got my brows done last week just because they were really bad, so I don't think it needs too much of a cleanup, but I still do go in with concealer to clean them up, even if they look nicely, just because it does clean it up, or any mistakes that you made, it just makes it look more clean. I just said that word like 5 times, but this is what one eyebrow looks like filled in, and then this is what the other one looks like after. Okay, so now to clean up the brows, I just use concealer. This is the concealer that I usually use just because I like the shade and the price is right. This is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Fair 04. So what I do is I put some on the back of my hand, like so, and then I use just a flat brush like this. I take some of the product off of the back of my hand, so the brush kind of looks like this. And then I just clean up the brows. If I messed up a little, I'll fix the shape up how I want it. So sometimes, depending what look I'm doing, I'll bring the concealer down to my lids as primer, or sometimes I'll just drag it a little bit down. Because if I'm doing like a really like dramatic, intense look, I'll usually use an actual eyeshadow primer. But if I'm doing something a little bit more basic, I'll just use concealer. But since I'm not really doing much, I'm just doing this eyebrow routine, I'm going to put the concealer on my eyelids too, just so it doesn't look weird, everything looks clean, you know. This part is optional. Maybe if you get like really oily and you have to set everything, then you probably should set it, or you just don't want, I don't know. I set it even though I have dry skin just because I don't want it to look creamy or anything, and it just brightens up the like brow bone just a little bit more. So I like to take this shade from my new nude palette right here and just dust it on the brow bone. But today I'm going to put it all over the lid as well just to set the concealer. I just like how bright and smooth this shade is, so I've been using it a lot lately. And then lastly, I just set the eyebrow with brow gel. I like to use this one from ColourPop. It's the Brow Boss Gel. This is the clear one. It's a really good brow gel and it's also really inexpensive. So what I do is just brush the hairs up and in the direction that my brow goes. And then I kind of like tap it in, because if you don't, you can see a little bit of the gel if you don't tap it in. And plus it just helps really like glue them down when you pat it down. And then if you want your brows to look really poppin', I like to highlight right here. I'm just going to use this shade in this palette because it's the one I have on my hands. So I'm just going to pop a little bit right here. But you can use any highlight you have or just any eyeshadow. But it really just helps like lift the brow and just brighten everything and make it all look better, in my opinion. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Okay, so this is one complete brow. Some people like to put concealer or use their foundation to carve out the brow right here. I like to leave it like that just because I feel like it looks a little bit more natural. But this is one brow and then this is what the other brow looks like. So you can see the difference. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing on this eyebrow off camera and then I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the next brow all complete. I'm kind of covering my face just because I'm really up close and my makeup is really dry right now. So I just want you guys to look at the brows. I will say my brows are definitely not sisters, maybe like cousins. As long as your brows are like related, they don't have to be like siblings, just, or even like friends and have something in common, you know. I would say mine are probably like friends. Well, like for the most part they have the same shape. I would just say this one is like a little bit thicker than this one, but I try to make them as even as possible. And that's also one thing I wanted to say. When I was doing this brow, when I started cleaning up the brow right here, I tried to like match it with this one. So whichever brow you do second, try to match it with the first brow. So use it as like a guidance. Kind of if you were going to connect the concealer right here, they should meet together. So, I mean, you can even do that and then blend it out in the middle. But yeah, these are my final brows. Okay, you guys, so these are the completed brows right here, and that was literally my everyday brow routine. It's really simple, really affordable, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So I'm hoping you guys like this brow routine and got something out of it, hopefully. So if you guys like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you guys to subscribe down below and join my little family. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.